I'm at Manly. It's Sunday and it's a really, really nice day. I was supposed to go to the Blue Mountains today with Anna, but she's got a bad back, so we cancelled it. But I've just come down here for a look around. I've only really been to the main beach in Manly, but apparently there's one called Little Manly, which looks amazing. I've just walked from the wharf past East Esplanade, but I'm going to go on a little walk now and check that out, so I'll take you with me. Very nice beach, Little Manly. I didn't really come prepared for the beach though. I came prepared for a hike. I didn't know I'd be there so quickly. I think I'm going to go for a walk towards North Head. Beach before, I've been to Shelley Beach before, and I've been to the wharf, which is kind of the opposite side of where the main beach is, but I didn't know there were other beaches on the wharf side, like that Little Manly Beach, and there was another one before on the East Esplanade, and then around here when you get to North Head, I have been there before. There's some stuff to look at. So I think, I don't know if you can see, I think there is Collins Beach, and there's one somewhere there, that's Store Beach, and then there's Quarantine Beach as well. I don't know if you have to go by boat to some of them. Yeah, it's really nice. Sydney's just so pretty. There's so many lovely places and the water's so turquoise. I don't come to Manly often. It's at the very, very bottom of the Northern Beaches Peninsula, and I tend to stay a little bit further up. It is lovely. It's very busy. I mean, it's popular with tourists and it's quite difficult to park. I don't really drive down here. I did a house sit here, just a short one a while ago. It's really nice though. I think if I was younger and in my 20s and wanted to go out a lot and live somewhere busy, I would really, really like it here. There's quite a lot going on, but it feels more like the eastern suburbs. It's got sort of the older, more heritage style properties, and then the sand is lighter as well. It gets really kind of dark orange rust colour as you go up the peninsula. But it's a lovely place, lots going on, lots of nice walks. It's so pretty, so many boats. Oh. Summer is coming. Oh, beautiful. Finally on a nice long house sit. I had a 3-week gap, which was very unusual, and then I just did a quick 2-day one before coming here, and now I've got a whole 4 weeks in this house. It's lovely. It's a really nice big house actually, and got a Christmas tree. I found when I stay in houses here, not many people have Christmas decorations, but this is an English family and they've got 3 kids, so they've got quite a few nice decorations. Look. Whee. It's a very humid, very stormy, rainy day today. It's been dry for weeks and weeks and weeks, but yeah, I'm holding up at the house today. Rudolph is not doing very well today. I've just remembered there's a big Jetstar sale on. It's been on for a few days and I keep checking flights, but it ends at midnight tonight, so I'm going to have to go and have another look. Because I was thinking, I wanted to go to Darwin this year and I didn't get around to going. I went to Cairns in June, and then I didn't go in the end to Darwin. But the flights are like $150 each way at the moment, which is pretty good for there from Sydney. And then you pay for luggage on top, obviously. But I had a good look through them. They've got absolutely loads of destinations cheap, domestic ones in Australia and going abroad. So I'm going to go and have another look through. I would love to go to the Whitsundays at one point, and they did have some flights there. They're only reduced at certain times of year though. So I think September they had some good ones for there. And then Darwin, I was looking at May or June because it's hot there all year, but it's rainy in the summer. So I'd rather have that as a little winter holiday. Yeah, just been at home all day. This house is lovely. It was actually, the family lived in a different house and then they had to move after they'd booked me, because they booked me in July for this Christmas sit. People always book quite early usually for Christmas. They were quite clever, so they owned a house, and because house prices have been dropping pretty much all this year, they sold it just as they were starting to drop and decided to rent for like as long as they could. Well, for until the prices started going back up again. So that was pretty good. They said like a few months after they sold their house, the agent said it would have already sold for like $250,000 less or something than they sold it for. So they made a really good decision. But anyway, they were renting somewhere, and then the landlord decided, I think they were moving back in, so they suddenly gave them like 3 weeks notice to move, like just before their month-long trip to the UK that they got booked. So they had to move the whole family of 5 here. But it's a lovely, lovely house. It's really big, and there's nice views all the way to the ocean and a big balcony upstairs. And it's just really spacious and lovely. I like having nice views a lot. I think that's the good thing about house sitting. You get to try out all these different things, so you just work out what you like. I always thought I would like a nice big garden, but actually I think I prefer a view to a garden. I mean, it's nice to have a garden, but Willow! Willow! Hey! Willow! Yeah, I can see why it's not as common here to have like big grassy gardens like we have in the UK. People tend to have like big patios and pools, and they have plants and stuff, but it's just kind of a bit more tropical and not so common to have big flat lawns. Maybe that's just Sydney. It might be different out elsewhere, I don't know. But yeah, I really like having like a big balcony with, or just a small balcony, a balcony with a really nice view. And I really like having greenery outside the windows. Like I wouldn't like an apartment where it's just looking down on concrete, but even just a small apartment where there's just trees outside the window, it's really, really nice, I think. So that makes a difference to me. Also, traffic noise worked out. I really don't like traffic noise. I would never really thought of that, but I remember moving from like one house on a busy road and then going to a really quiet one, and I just was like, oh, it's just instantly relaxing. So don't like traffic noise. Really like some kind of greenery to look at. The dog's going with their eyes closed. Willow, you sleeping sitting up with your head up? That's really clever. I should show you the dog. Who's this? Oh, it's a bit dark. There we go. Willow, yes. A little light on you. And there's a hot tub over there, but there's no flipping water in it, so that's a shame. I bet the family haven't used it yet. Oh, that would have been nice. Never mind. The garden's lovely though. Look, all the plants. Come and look. Oh no. The wind's blown over the really nice one. Oh, that's a shame. I'm looking at those flights to Darwin. All the cheap ones that are $149 each way, they're all at 1 in the morning. They leave at 1 in the morning. Oh my gosh, they're the only direct ones, and then they've got more expensive ones later in the day, but they take 8 hours because they go via Adelaide. What a con, what a massive con. I wanted to go to Darwin because I have been there before. I spent my 23rd birthday there. That was a long time ago. But I just haven't been there since then. I've travelled a lot of Australia since then, like on my more recent trips. But I would like to go back and just like take some photos there and put it on the blog, because I haven't got anything on my blog about there. I've got only like the south coast and the east coast, but I'm gonna have a bit more of a look. Okay, I'm booking it. I'm gonna go in May instead. They just had more available then. I've got a house that you see, I've got a month-long house that started in the middle of June, and the only option coming back was like on that same day, getting in at 6 AM, so that's a bit of a risk, isn't it? So I'm gonna go in May, and also because I'd like to go to the UK this year, and I just had a quick look at flights and they're cheapest in June, so maybe I'll go to the UK in June. Sydney to Darwin in May. I'm gonna just grab the cheap one that's at 1 AM because I think I'd rather have a fast flight at 1 AM than an 8-hour flight with a massive gap in Adelaide in the day, because then you just waste a whole day. So I'm gonna go for that one, and I've paid an extra $50 to check in luggage because it's too hard doing hand luggage. I've done it before, I just can't fit everything in. So, and I want to bring my laptop and camera and all that stuff. So, and I can choose my seat for free in a standard seat. So I'm just going to do that, put it through. All done. I'm doing it. I'm about to press go. Actually, it wasn't $50 for the luggage, it was $45 each way, which is quite a lot, but I did that in Cairns and I was really, really glad. So before, I've done like 7 kilograms of hand luggage only, and sometimes they weigh it and sometimes they don't, but I ended up having to like shove all my toiletries into my coat pockets and wear all my clothes because the mum was going around and had to come out the toilet, waddled over, got it weighed, and then went and put it all back in. So I can't live like that anymore. I'm just going to pay for it. Paid for the carbon offset, that was $8. It's a bit of a shame. So last time when I went to Cairns with Jetstar, I could use my Qantas points, so I got $100 off, which was good. I wasn't expecting that. But I only had 3,000 points this time. You need 3,500 to use them against the flight. So I shop at Woolworths here, which is a supermarket, and I convert all my points to Qantas points. You can choose to do that. And I just get my petrol at Woolworths stations as well, Woolworths Ampol stations, and convert that. So nice collecting all the points up. So that was just under $400 all in. Pay now. Dun dun dun. Run. Processing. 45 seconds. Blank. Still blank. Yes, confirm. Going to Darwin. Ooh, look, you're going to Darwin. Yay. How exciting. Gosh, it's gonna be hot there. Crocodiles, all that. And I do remember Darwin, and I remember kind of liking it more than I thought I would. And I'd done a road trip up the west coast. So we drove up the west coast from Perth to Darwin. I think we spent 3 weeks doing it. I remember it being good, but it was so long ago now that I can't remember it in detail. I'd love to do that again though one time. But I remember liking Darwin. I remember getting there and kind of feeling really sad because we'd been camping, and I was just so used to like sitting outside on the little camping chair and having breakfast and all that. And I was like, oh, I've got to like sleep indoors now. Eat my breakfast in a kitchen. I'm really sad. But I just remember going into this hostel and like opening the door, and it was so stuffy and it just stank of like stale, boozy people. And there was a girl, I think she was called Charlene or something like that. I can't remember, she was Australian. Anyway, yeah, she'd had a big night, and it was just so smelly and hot. But I do remember liking it, and I remember going to the beach and there being fireworks, and I went to Kakadu, maybe that was on the way there. All I remember of that is mosquitoes just being absolutely bitten to smithereens. Never mind. I'll have to start doing some research on what to do in Darwin then. That'll be fun. You'll get another fun vlog, so that will be in May. It's turned into a nice day now. It's all sunny. They've got some nice chairs on here, so I'm going to sit on the balcony and have a cup of cocoa and look outside. Wild. They've got a nice swingy chair here, but it's really soaked in rain, I think. So I'm going to sit there instead. It's weird, I haven't been back to the UK for almost a year, but it doesn't feel like it's been that long. Since I moved here, I tried to go back once a year, and then I got stuck there during the very start of COVID. I went over just before, well, just as COVID was starting. I'd never even heard of it until I got there, and then I couldn't get back, and then I didn't go again for 18 months, but it felt so long, and I think it was probably just because of the lockdowns and things and life just being so boring, and yeah, I really missed home, and I felt like I'd been home for ages, but this time the year's kind of just flown by. It's so nice to have freedom again, isn't it, after all the lockdowns. I went back last time in January, which obviously is the middle of winter there, so it's very cold and dark, and I got COVID pretty much as soon as I got there, so I spent the whole 3 weeks isolated, and then just saw friends once at the end for one lunch, and I could barely speak then, so and then I couldn't get my flight back. It was a real debacle. I had to like reorganise all my flights, and I had a house it started, and I think I just got there on the day the house it started, but it was a real pain to get back. I had to phone up so many people. Hopefully that won't happen this time. Yeah, so June will be nice, summertime. I haven't been over to the UK in summer for a long time. When I got stuck there, I think I lived in my old house because I used to rent it out, and the tenants had just left and I wanted to sell it, so when I got stuck there for the lockdown, I lived in my own house instead of staying with my parents. And then I just did a bit more work to it before I put it on the market. But yeah, that was kind of springtime through till July, so it was actually really nice weather, but hopefully if I do go back in there summertime, it should be nice. Sunset. This is a good place to end the vlog. I'll see you next time.